is streaking through the sky as it continues to re-enter the atmosphere. Again, those parachutes have not quite deployed just yet, but once they are through the atmosphere successfully, we'll first see the Drogue chutes deploy. We're targeting 2:43 a.m. Pacific for that, and just seconds later at 2:44 a.m. we'll see the main chutes deploy, and of course splashdown at 2:47 a.m. Pacific off the coast of Pensacola.
Yeah, this view is a thermal view, tracking cam from NASA's WB-57 plane. I always love seeing this come through because just the brightness gives you a good idea of, and it will start to get dimmer and dimmer as we get closer to the Drogue parachute deployment. This looks like it is a live view coming from Megan, which is the recovery vessel positioned a safe distance away from the anticipated splashdown site. I believe this is the tracking cam, not thermal, more, I'm not sure the right way to describe it, but it's a live view camera, but adjusted for the darkness of the night sky. So that's why the pixels on the camera might look a little wonky there.
And even from this view, it's just spectacular. So amazing to see. We are expecting the acquisition of signal to be about 2 minutes from now, and splashdown, again, we're less than 10 minutes away from that, 7 minutes or so away from splashdown of Crew 7 to wrap up their 6-month science and research mission to the International Space Station.
Dragon SpaceX, ComCheck.
SpaceX Dragon, we have you loud and clear.
All right, so that was the voice.
We have you the same. Expect automated chute deployment.
As the voice of Commander Jasmine Mugbelly.
Automated chute deployment.
Great to hear her voice on the other side of the comms blackout. And a great view here, that thermal cam showing us live re-entry of the Crew 7 team on board Dragon Endurance.
And the Corps also did let Jasmine Mugbelly and the Crew 7 crew know that they expect a nominal or normal Drogue chute deploy, expecting us to maybe begin to get some views of that here in about a minute and a half or 2 minutes from now. And then following that will be the main chutes that deploy. Continuing to get some really incredible views of Crew 7.
Dragon SpaceX GPS is converged. Expect nominal altitude for Drogue chute deploy.
All right, good news there. That's an indicator that we can expect the Drogue parachutes to release about the 350 mile per hour speed, or about 18,000 feet above the ocean. As I mentioned, the streak becomes dimmer just prior to the chute deployment. This view here is coming to us from our recovery vessel Megan, which is the large vessel that will make its way out to the capsule and ultimately pick it up out of the ocean and place it in the nest on board. Now we should see the
Dragon
drogues pop out
SpaceX brace
here.
for Drogue window.
Dragon copy.
The thermal cam will provide us a much better view of the parachute deployment.
So we are standing by for those drogues to deploy. We should see that begin to happen here any second from now.
Tracking to about 15 seconds until drogue deploy. Once again, Dragon is reading its altitude as well as barometric pressure to determine when the appropriate, and there we can see the drogues deploying now, the appropriate time to deploy those drogue parachutes.
So these Drogue parachutes do help to stabilize and decelerate the vehicle ahead of the mains being deployed a short time after.
Expecting mains
Drogue
at
chute
about 30.
descent rate nominal.
All right, that's great news there, indicating that the rate of deceleration with the Drogue chutes is as expected. The main parachutes will deploy next. That will occur around the 6,500 foot mark above the ocean surface. And at that point in time, the capsule will be traveling around 120 miles per hour. And we can see those main parachutes deploying now. Those Drogue parachutes will land in the ocean, and hopefully we will be able to recover them, but they kind of sink quickly sometimes. So the recovery teams will go out and try to recover those Drogue parachutes for reuse on future cargo missions. We can see here.
Main chute descent rate nominal.
Great news there, indicating that the deceleration rate of the...
Copy 1000.
So at this point in time, Jasmine is now transitioning into calling out Dragon's altitude. Beautiful thermal view there of the capsule and 4 healthy mains. It's hard to tell in this view because, again, it is thermal, but the parachutes are orange and white. If you've seen a daytime launch, you'll know what they look like, and we should be able to see, hopefully...
800 meters.
Dragon is now 800 meters
Copy 800.
above the ocean. Now once Dragon splashes down, the capsule will automatically cut the ties to the parachutes. This helps in the case where it might be windy. It isn't today. Wind speeds are pretty low at the moment.
600 meters.
But if it were a little windy, it would help to ensure that
Copy 6.
that Dragon doesn't get destabilized by having the main parachutes. And we will also recover those main parachutes from as they float in the ocean as well.
And standing by for that splashdown, now about a minute away from that or less.
400 meters.
400 meters is what Jasmine just called out. So the next call out we'll hear is for 200 meters, and then of course splashdown. So continuing to get great views of 4 healthy mains, as well as the Crew Dragon with 4 astronauts on board.
Bracing at 200.
And the crew is bracing for splashdown. We do hear that the fast
SpaceX
boats,
copies 200 and braced.
the fast boats are en route. Standing by for splashdown.
What a beautiful sight. As you can see on your screen, we have
Dragon splashdown.
SpaceX copies, see the same.
visual and audio confirmation for splashdown of Dragon Endurance.